Hi! So we're talking about our game, An Activist Moxie, which is a game about a group of activists who are trying to balance their personal work and activist lives while trying to contribute to community movements and advancing them forward in a struggle. So we're going to introduce how the game is played.
All right, so we've already taken the liberty of setting up a fair amount of the game. Each player is dealt two activism cards, which are the red ones with the flags, one vitality card, which is an orange heart, and each person has a career. These have our list of how much money, how much Moxie is required to participate in our regular going-to-work schedule of just attending a job, and how much reward we receive, or essentially our salary, from going to this job. So what we're going to do is kind of jump right into the first phase, and we have an overall goal of getting two movements, which are these gray cards with the stick figure on them, to level 3. We'll explain some of these in greater detail as we get going. So, starting at the beginning of every round, we draw one card from the movement deck. Right here, we have our first movement, and if this had not been a movement card, we would draw until we have one movement card. For the first round only, we do need to draw until we have at least one movement card. So, we have our symbols here. This round symbol that depicts a circular arrow is indicating the upkeep for this movement. That is the amount of solidarity points, which I will explain later, that we have to pay to upkeep this movement to keep it alive. Otherwise, it will fail and be discarded. And again, our goal, as stated here, is to get 2 of these movements up to level 3. So, everybody starts by taking their job phase. That is the first phase of each round. Everybody plays simultaneously, so there are no turns. It's not like I go and then Ryan goes. Everybody just continues playing at the same time until everyone is done, and then they move on to the next phase. So this is the first job phase, and we decide on an individual basis if we would like to pay the Moxie cost to go to work. If not, that's fine, but then we don't get any money. So, personally, I'm going to pay my Moxie cost, and I have a little tracker here for how much Moxie I'm willing to spend. I'm going to take any old thing will work. I have an extra index card here that I'm going to use to sort of keep track of how much Moxie I've spent. So I've spent 1 Moxie to go to work, so I'm just keeping track that I've used 1 so far. I gain 1 money, which I am also going to track with a money, which any old piece of paper can be used, and we can track on an individual basis. Pen over here.
To go to work, you draw one of the cash cards. So I drew this for Brian, and it says a normal day of work, nothing special happens, so there's no event, no effect, but he gets paid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to go to work today. I also got a normal day. So I spent 1 Moxie on that. Each activist gets 10 Moxie at the beginning of the round.
I'm going to go to work. So for me, it actually takes 2 Moxie to go to work. And I also have a normal day. But I got 3 money.
I will also go to work, and I picked up an event card called Rough Day, in which I discard my hand or lose a Moxie for this round. And I will elect to lose the Moxie, just so I don't have to lose all my cards.
I will also go to work. Bonus. You're paid plus 1 money. Yes. So on top of the 2 money I get, 2 cash I get for my job, I get another one. So I have 3 at the end of this round.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So, it looks like everybody's gone through the job phase, so that means that this phase can now be completed, and so that's done, and we're going to move on to the next phase. The next phase is the first of 2 action phases. In an action phase, we can use one of the 2 remaining decks. We can either play an activist card or participate in vitality cards. So, whichever one we choose, we're committed to that one for this phase. So if I choose that I want to have this round be dedicated, this phase be dedicated to vitality, then I can play vitality cards, which I have one here in my hand, because you start with one. or I can choose activism cards, but I cannot do both in one phase. So, personally, I'm going to draw another vitality card. Now, currently, I have 4 cards in my hand. I can only have 3 at the end of any single phase. So before this phase is over, I have to discard one of these cards. And I'm going to think about that, but I know that it's everybody's turn at the same time, so everyone else can also continue while I think.
I'll also draw a vitality card for some personal time. This one costs 1 Moxie, and so I will spend it, and I gain 2 vitality.
I will also play a vitality card. Costs me 1 Moxie in return for 2 vitality, which I will also play.
So I'm curious, Brand. I want to play a solidarity card. Do I have any money right now? I got paid. Did I get paid this round, or do I get?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you did. You went to work, did you not?
I did.
So you immediately earn your salary at that time that you go to work, and so whatever your salary was, by the looks of your card, it says it's 2, or
So
no,
I have
I'm
enough.
sorry, 3.
It's 3.
And so you have 3 cash at the moment.
So I'm going to draw a solidarity, and it's an event. It's a police crackdown. Until the end of the next round, vitality cost for activism cards are doubled. This card affects all players. Sorry, guys.
Ouch. I
So-
didn't notice, actually, and I apologize for this. I picked up this card but didn't fully read it. I drew an event card, actually, when I drew Vitality. I gained 2 money, so that's always helpful.
Well, that's luckily the solidarity point that I'm paying for costs 1 Moxie and 2 cash. It doesn't cost any vitality. So we have 1. We actually have that is going towards the current movement.
Oh, fantastic.
And 1
one
solidarity.
quick side note, we are still working out we've been changing terms and such, so when we say cash or money, the term officially in the rules, as you will see, is cash, I believe, and if we forget and say money and cash are the same thing, they're not at all different in
Same
this
with
game.
activism and solidarity.
Yes, those are also the same thing. We're still adjusting ourselves to remembering the exact terms as we change them to be more fitting. So, continuing, did you get to go?
I will draw a vitality card. I also have 4 cards and have to decide. I will use a vitality card which costs 1 Moxie and gives me 2 vitality.
Okay, fantastic. So it looks like everybody. I'm sorry.
I will play this activism card, which costs 1 Moxie and 2 cash in return for 1 solidarity.
Fantastic. So in total now we have 2 solidarity here, which is again enough for the upkeep. Not enough to upgrade it. That requires 8, and will probably take us a few turns to get that built up, so we have enough to pay for that to upgrade it.
Probably not done during a crackdown either.
No, probably not during a police crackdown either, but once that goes away next round, it should be a little easier. So that, I believe, concludes Phase 1, which we can move on to Phase 2. So I'm going to start off by, let's see, I'd like to draw a activism card, and everybody else can also continue as they're going.
Yep.
I drew an event. Mine is Newsflash. I flip a coin. If heads, I subtract 1 from all vitality and cash costs for any activism cards I play until the end of the round. If it fails, I add 1 to that cost.
I also drew a newsflash.
Wow. Fantastic. Alright, so let's see here. Oop. Tails, so I'm going to have to add 1. That's unfortunate.
You really shouldn't play anything with vitality costs. It's gonna be.
That's going to hurt.
Heads. So my vitality and money costs are -1 for this round.
I'm going to take a vitality turn. And I'm going to play this for 2 Moxie, which is going to put me at, let's say, 8, 7, 5. It's going to put me at 5 Moxie, and I get 4 vitality.
Alright.
I'm going to draw an activist